Hi everybody and welcome to another episode of the Tactics Board. We're on episode 9 now, and I have to admit I thought I would be higher up the table at episode 9, but it's fine. I've still got time to improve. Of course, I'm Natalie Pike and I'm joined as always by my lovely co-host Carl. Slasher t-shirt Carl. How are you, mate? You okay?
I'm all right, yeah, not too bad. Whereabouts are you in the league? What number?
I am 471. What about you?
365th.
Oh, are you? Right, I'm catching because at one point there was hundreds in between us.
Yeah. I mean, you have said that every week, though.
But every week I am catching.
You are.
I'm
so
catching on a snail or the tortoise.
By May, you'll get me.
Mate, I'm playing the long game. This is all about strategy. This is all about working out. Once I've nailed my team, then
that's it.
Then I'm going to be really, really good. I'll keep saying that. So it's been a couple of weeks. Obviously, it's been international break. So we had a week off last week. I went on a little holiday. Did you have a nice quiet week, Carl?
Yeah, just working. Got a cold, which was nice. So yeah, that's about it, really. But Newcastle have been taken over in football and news. Wow.
Yes, that happened while I was away. Yeah, what was your reaction?
It's strange, isn't it? Because if you kind of ignore the murderous human rights sports washing side of things, it's great for Newcastle. It's great for football. It's good for the fans. They're going to have a great team. And history kind of shows if you have the money, more times than not, you're going to win the league. It's just where they get the money from. Yeah, what do you think?
Yes, I think probably the details of that are best placed on a different type of football show.
I completely agree.
But I guess, what we can say is that we are thrilled for Newcastle fans that they no longer have Mike Ashley in charge, because the parties that were going on outside St. James's,
that was great.
For that reason alone.
I mean, Newcastle fans have been up against Antley recently, so it's really good to see. I don't know, Natalie, as a City fan, are you now jealous because they're so much richer than you?
Yeah, we're not the rich ones anymore. These people with all the money trying to buy the leagues.
Does that mean you're going to lose some fans to Newcastle? I don't know. How's it going to work?
Maybe, absolutely. I mean, definitely, we're not the richest anymore. Yeah, we're now officially the underdogs.
You practically poor. Yeah, oh my word. Yeah, it's nuts. Yeah, fair play. I'm excited in terms of football. If I just focus on football terms, I am excited to see what they'll build in the next 10 years or so. I think they've said in the next 10 years they want to win the Premier League, but I think they can probably do it in 5, depending on how much money they can throw it with financial fair play, that type of thing. But yeah, exciting times if you're a Newcastle fan at least.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see what they do, for the city of Newcastle as well, because obviously that's something that we're really proud about in Manchester, is what our owners have done for the city of Manchester and what they've done in, for the people of the community. So I'm looking forward to seeing, hopefully they can take our blueprint and go and do that in Newcastle, which I think would be great.
Let's see.
Aha, you've got nothing to say about that. You United fans never have anything to say about that.
I don't know. I suppose I could, but again, it's not a political show, is it? But yeah.
Okay. Right, so you still have a chance to join our league. We're closing in on 1,000 people in our league now. It's 997-6717. 997-6717. Know it off by heart now, at last. So the person that is at the top of our leagues currently is Lee Childs.
Hey.
Well done, Lee. You're the top of our league.
Well done, mate. Well done. He's been at the top for quite a while, though. I keep seeing his name at the top.
Oh, have you?
I've just kept an eye on the top. That's where I'm aiming, obviously. I did say top 4 at the start of the season.
I noticed he's about 200 points ahead of me as well, is what I noticed.
Yeah, that's another thing I noticed. He is far, far superior than me at this game. So, yeah, well done, Lee, mate.
I did wonder if it was Lee Child, but also as well, the guy that wrote those Jack Reacher books.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I do, yeah.
I mean, he's obviously multi-talented, so maybe he's also into...
Maybe he is. Fantasy football,
yeah. But congratulations, Lee. You are currently top of the league. If you're not a member, if you're not in our league, get joining now, because we've got competitions throughout the season and we'll have some coming up very soon as well. So, yes, I said I was 471. Where are you currently, Carl?
365.
365, okay. I'm gunning for you, because I really do think that my team is starting to get there. How many points did you get last week, by the way? I'm just getting mine up.
Last week before, I feel like I need to admit, because we share each other's teams a little bit in a WhatsApp group that we've got before, and you've not flagged it, but I want to raise it. because you're just going to go at me anyway, so I might as well just tell you and be honest.
Yeah.
I took Ronaldo out.
Oh my God, I can't believe I didn't even notice that.
Wait. There's a reason
Right.
for it. It's only because United was the early kickoff.
Right.
And there was rumours that he wasn't starting. So I was like...
Well, when did you hear those rumours? Because Twitter had a meltdown.
Yeah, well, I literally heard it through Twitter probably about half an hour before, and I checked the deadline. I still had time to change it. So I brought in Lukaku. He only got me 4 points in the end. So whether that was worth it, I don't know. But then upcoming fixtures for Chelsea look a lot easier than Man United. So maybe I'll keep it the same for the next 3 weeks and then get Ronaldo back in. Don't worry, he's coming back in.
And do you know what? I also noticed that you have no City players in your team. What are you doing? Like, everybody should have a City defender in their team.
It's Pep Roulette. They're too expensive. Cancelo's too expensive. Ruben Diaz is too expensive. Everyone else gets swapped week in, week out.
It's not Pep Roulette when it comes to the defenders, though, is it? Like, Ruben Diaz or João Cancelo are must-haves.
Yeah, expensive must-haves. But yeah.
Okay, whatever. So how many points did you get?
Game week 8, I got 61 points, so it was okay.
Nice, yeah. I only got 52. But I had Alonso. I had loads of players that ended up getting me 0.
Oh, Alonso, mate. We'll talk about Alonso in a minute. We will. Yeah. Oh, my word.
We will. So obviously, because it has been the international break, there was no games at the weekend. What we're going to do in this episode is have a little look at the team of the season so far on our Sky Sports fantasy football game. So these are the 11 players that have scored the highest so far this season, and some of them are fairly obvious, some of them are a great surprise, and if you put them in your team at the start of the season, well done you. So I'll start off with the goalkeeper because obviously it's one of my own, and the top scoring goalkeeper in the game so far is of course Ederson. And I say of course, and that is because of how many clean sheets City have kept this season. I mean, defensively so far we've been insane, especially if you consider the teams that we've played, Chelsea, Liverpool, Tottenham, Arsenal. We've played some of the yes, well, some of the top end teams, some of the ones that might end up lower down. But considering that City have had an incredible supply, you can predict that there is City defenders coming up in this team as well. But Ederson is so far 48 points. Now, I don't have Ederson, Carl, and we have slightly differing opinions on goalkeepers. So although I think Ederson is incredible, 48 points, I think you can save yourself a good million and a half with lots of other great goalkeeping options.
Well, that's what I mean. It's whether it's like value for money. I was looking at this as well because Ederson was the top, and even though I saw him at the top, I was like, well, I still wouldn't put him in my side. So I wanted to have a look who the top 1K have. And the most selected goalkeeper for the top 1K is who I think you've got is Wolves' Jose Sarr, who's selected by 37.5% of teams in the top 1K. So, you know what?
He's 1.3 million less than Ederson.
Exactly. So you can spend your money elsewhere. So it's not always choosing you can't always choose the highest scoring player, can you? Along the lines, you've got to make cuts here and there every now and again.
Yeah, and Sarr's currently on 37 points for the season, whereas Ederson is on 48. He if you look, I'm just looking down the list there, 6.3 million gets you Raya for Brentford. Yeah. And he 6.3 million, so saving the 1.7 million, and he's clocked up 41 points so far. So, there's definite cheaper options, but the number one currently for goalkeepers is Ederson. And I realised there as well, when I went in to look at those stats, I got really close to my computer as well.
Well, right with your nose, I was like, oh.
And City do have a really favourable run of fixtures coming up, considering what we've had at the start of the Premier League. So we have Burnley at home at the weekend, Brighton away, and then Palace at home. So no disrespect when we say that, but more favourable fixtures than we have had so far.
Yeah, no, I agree. And that obviously is the same for the other two defenders who are in Team of the Week. There's no United players yet, which I'll bring up a little bit later. But Ruben
Is there any at all?
There's none, not one. Which is just bang out of order.
I immediately noticed that either.
This is what I mean. This is how
Bruno Fernandes.
This is how you have me on the back foot, because I'm like, I look for things. I think Natalie's going to pick this up. And you're not doing, so I'm just throwing them out there. I'm helping you out. I think Ronaldo would have been in there if he was in there from the start, if he played for United from the start of the season. But
I think Ronaldo would be in there if he'd had more than 2 good games. Yes, I agree.
Okay, yeah. Let's move on to defence, shall we? Ruben Diaz and João Cancelo, City players. I'll let you talk about them. What are you saying on them?
Both cracking up 52 points so far. And again, it goes to the point of just how many clean sheets City have had. But for those two, you're also picking up the other bonus points, which is, key for your defenders as well. The passing points and the blocking points and the additional bonus points that you're picking up. So I have Ruben Diaz in my team, and I am going to bring in João Cancelo this week. It's, that big thing. Will you double up? We've talked about it on the show before, doubling up with the teams in one area of your pitch. I personally I'm not a huge fan of it, but I think our defence is so solid, and those two players specifically are not part of Pep Roulette. So unless they pick up injuries, God bless they don't, these two are pretty certain to start. So, you're avoiding the Pep Roulette, and our defence is just phenomenally solid. I mean, you don't have any City. Why do you not have either of these? I know you just said it, but I'm just shocked that you don't have either of them.
Because they're very expensive, because I've spent heavy up top. I've got Salah, Vardy and Lukaku, or Salah, Vardy and Ronaldo.
So I've got some of them, but you can do it.
But then I've got a good midfield as well. You know what I mean? So this week I'm going to have a bit of a mess around, and I might put one of those players in, probably Cancelo, just because Diaz is very expensive. But if you look at those players, so you've got Diaz, Cancelo, they've both got 52 points. Also, Alonso for Chelsea has got 52 points. I was looking at these defenders and thinking, I wonder if these defenders will be in the team of the season at the end of the season. And I think Diaz will. I think Cancelo will. I'm not sure Alonso will be. I think Chelsea's Alonso will have a bit of a drop-off. Chelsea have got it's difficult because Chelsea have got a good run of fixtures coming up. But for me, will Alonso play? Ben Chilwell's coming in. And he came in for the past few games. I think Alonso had a bad game or two previously, which
he didn't play. I brought him in.
Well, that's what I mean.
Play.
That's what I mean. He's not there. So is there a safer pick you can choose rather than Marcus Alonso? And will that see him kind of slip down the leaderboard a little bit? I don't know.
In terms of the top 1,000, 17% have got Alonso, which is the lowest of the top ones. João Cancelo, 29.3% of the top 1,000 have got him. And then Ruben Diaz, 43.8% of the top 1,000 have Ruben Diaz, which is one of the highest, not the highest. Salah is the highest by a mile, but is one of the highest in the team so far. I know Ruben Diaz is expensive, 10.6. He's, Cancelo 9.5, Alonso 7.9, Rudiger 9. Even Laporte 9, but at 10.6, Diaz is not part of the rotation. Yeah. Now, I'm saying that, Carl.
I know what I'm going to say because I've got it written down here.
Pull this clip up.
I was waiting for you. I was like, shall I do it? But I see your Ruben Diaz been selected by X amount of players, however many it was, 1K teams. But Rudiger, 73.5% of top 1K teams have got him. That just speaks volumes. I know what you're saying, but he's cheaper. He's so much cheaper than Ruben Diaz. And I think that's probably why so many top 1K teams have got him. So what did you say Ruben Diaz is?
So Ruben Diaz is 43.8.
73.5, not a million miles away from double, nearly enough.
But he is getting an exclamation mark on the app at the minute, everybody, because he missed Germany's match with North Macedonia. So return date estimated the 16th, so that's this weekend. So this is one of those where we need to pay attention to the press conferences.
Yeah, tricky one. Let's move on to midfield, shall we? With Ismaila Sarr. We spoke about him so many times. And I feel like I'm just going to say the exact same thing. He's here in the team of the season so far because he's playing as a forward but ranked as a midfielder. I don't know how many times I need to say it. It will probably be his last season at Watford, I think. I think a bigger side or a richer side in Newcastle's case will come and take him.
You're putting Newcastle in there now.
I just think, well, that's kind of why I was like, quotation marks, richer side. I just think he's too good. He is too good, and he's got you 49 points, highest scoring midfielder. So fair play to Ismaila Sarr for doing that.
Yeah, and he's just, he's a phenomenal player, and he's just unplayable at the minute. He's one of those kind of really sort of tricky players that are, he's accelerating, like he's going past you slow and then he just accelerates and you're like, where's Salah gone? So, he's shout out to those players that put him in, in the first week, because it's 7.8, 49 points so far. He's seeming like incredible value.
Yeah, I think he's going to be one of those players that will be in it at the end of the season. But moving on now to Everton's Andros Townsend, who's in the midfield, who I think I was really shocked at when I heard
it.
I don't think he's going to be there at the end of the season in the team of the season. I might be wrong, but I don't think he will. He scored 3 goals so far. He's only had like 5 shots in the box, which makes me think, how long can he keep up this kind of goal-scoring run for? I think himself and Everton are overperforming a little bit, and I think eventually they'll both settle down and he'll probably fall out of this team of the season so far. What do you think?
Are you just hating on him because he mimicked Ronaldo's celebration when he scored last week?
Yeah, but it was in homage, wasn't it? It was just to say how much he loves him, like everyone else does. So now I don't mind
everyone.
Well, most people who love football truly love football.
And he's of course just got the goal of the month for September as well for that insane. And you say that not very many touches inside the box. That goal obviously against Burnley, which was outside the box. Insane. Did you read? I read a brilliant story that he said that he was like, his confidence was a bit low with his shooting, and then his mum sent him a compilation of goals that he had scored, and then he was like, oh yeah, I can do that, and he went out and scored.
Oh, nice. No, I didn't. But see, mum knows best. You know what I mean? Mums know best.
Mums. So people that have got him, you owe Andros Townsend's mum a big thank you for the 45 points that he's clocked up already. And obviously Everton have had a great start to the season, which helps as well. And he's kind of bouncing off some of those other players in the Everton team. So be interesting to see. I'm kind of with you though. I don't think he'll be there at the end of the season, but who knows?
What do you think?
Could be one of the best free transfers
he is.
of the summer.
He definitely will be that by the end of the season. Regardless, whatever happens, he will be one of the best free transfers. But let's move on now, shall we, to Ben Rama, our final midfielder. And
have you still got him? I have.
Yes, I've still got him.
Yes, I have.
Whether I will buy this this time next week, I'm not sure. I'll have to see. Only because I'm struggling, because 40.6% of teams in the top 1K have him, which make me think I should keep him. But then equally, there's part of me that think, like Everton, will West Ham slip down a little bit? Are West Ham overperforming still? Will Ben Rama be in that Premier League team of the season at the end of the season? I'm not sure. And
I agree with you. With West Ham slipping a bit, I've got Antonio. Is the Ben Rama Antonio combination worth sticking with if we're slightly doubtful on West Ham?
That's what I mean. It's a tricky one, isn't it? I'm not sure. Let's move on now to our strike force, to one player who 100 million% will be in team of the season at the end of the season. That's Mohamed Salah. 91.7% of teams in the top 1K have him. And that's mad. I mean, I was having a look before we started filming today. If you look at the top performing players in like goalkeeper, in defence, in midfield, they're all pretty close. They're all split between 2, 3, 4 points, whatever. But if you look at the strikers, Mohamed Salah is 21 points clear of Jamie Vardy.
I know. He's like the absolute most sure bet. I think the only people that don't have Salah are Everton fans, and I would totally respect that. Apart from that, he should be the first name on your team sheet, and he's my captain every week without fail.
And that makes me ask you the question, Natalie, who do you think is going to get the golden boot at the end of the season? Mohamed Salah and Jamie Vardy, they're both on 6 goals. And that's double what Cristiano Ronaldo and Lukaku are on. They're on 3. Obviously, it's still loads to play for, but what do you think if you was to put your neck on the line right now? Salah's
just the most consistent, isn't he? Did you see that goal he scored against us? Like, it's one of those occasions where you just got to go, yeah, nothing we could have done about that. Well done. That was world class. Congratulations. I think Salah, obviously in terms of competition for City, I hope it's not. I'd much rather it was Vardy. But I just think he's just so consistent, and he started the season so unbelievably that at the minute I can't see past him.
Yeah, no, I agree. But another player who is so consistent is Jamie Vardy, who is also in the team this season. Jamie Vardy is he just will play every game and he'll score every other game pretty much. He's proven to be scoring all season in this top league. He's in my team. He's not going to be moved. He's quite expensive. I was looking at £10.6 million. Is that
he's nearly 2 more than Antonio.
Well, that's what I mean. But he will keep. I think the difference here between Vardy and Antonio, Vardy will keep scoring throughout the season. I think Antonio will have these peaks and troughs a little bit. So yeah, I'd stick with Vardy. But what do you think about Antonio? You've got Antonio.
Yes, I've got Antonio, and I still think obviously at 8.8 million, he's an absolutely not a steal. You know, Antonio could easily be one of the premium players in the game. But I agree with you, and I've heard a lot of chat on social media this week about people questioning if now is the time to swap him out. Yeah. I think I will stick with him for a little bit longer, but I'm certainly keeping an eye on it. He's still in 45.2% of the top 1,000 teams. But if you're looking at his points in recent week, he picked up 2 in the last game against Brentford, which was just starting. He got the goal against Leeds, no points against you, -1 against Southampton. So you're actually going back to August when he was getting the big points. So
it was Gameweek 2 one, he got like 21 points.
21 points, yes. We did 15, 21, and then 10. And since then, -1, 0, 9, 2. So,
indeed. But he's cheap. Do you know what I mean? He's cheap, so you don't know. He pulled out, didn't he? He was supposed to be going to play with Jamaica over this international break, but he's pulled out of that. So maybe he took the rest. Maybe he'll come back into it in fine form. We'll have to see. But that's why I even think Jamie Vardy will benefit a little bit, because he's never going away on international breaks anymore by the looks of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's staying here, he's training, he's recuperating, he's resting, and he's ready to go when the Premier League's back, isn't he?
No, you've just made me... I feel like I'm changing my mind on Salah.
Why?
Well, is he not going to be going off in January?
Well, in January, yeah, but you can keep him until then. You've got a bit of time.
In terms of Golden Boot. How many games does he miss in January?
I think it's out for a month. We'll have to check, but...
right, I may be changing my mind then, yeah.
All right. We'll go with Ronaldo. If you want to go with Ronaldo so much.
I'd rather gouge my eyes out than go with Ronaldo.
That would get views. Shall we move on to our ones to watch, Natalie? You go first. Who is your one to watch?
So my one to watch this week is Philip Walter Foden from Manchester City.
Is that his middle name? Is Walter's middle name? Oh, fair play.
Walter's his middle name. It's not the footballer's called Walter. Yes. So my reason being is that obviously he started the season a bit slow because of the injuries that he picked up in the summer. He didn't come back into City for a while, but since he has, for the last couple of games, he has been absolutely unbelievable. I'm presuming you watched the Liverpool and the Chelsea games because, you know, if you're a fan of good football, you will have watched those games, and you will have seen just how absolutely and utterly phenomenal he was in both those games. Obviously, man of the match for England last week as well. Mm-hmm. He is when you talk about Phil Foden, it's hard to describe how good he could get. We talk about him being world class, but every year we're seeing him improving, getting better and better and better. I think he's hitting unbelievable form right now, and I don't think there's a ceiling for him. I think his form is so good at the minute he's going to beat the Pep Roulette. And I think he is pretty much a starter for us now, alongside Kevin De Bruyne in the midfield. I think now is the time to put him in. I am going to put him in. I think that he is going to become a regular starter for the next period of games at least. I think he's going to score goals. I think he's going to assist. I think he's going to make $1 million. I think this is the time to put Phil Foden in your team.
What more do you need to say? That was, I feel like applauding that. That was incredible. No,
you going to get him in? Are you going to put him in?
No, I'm not. He's still like 9.1 million in it. Is he expensive? How much is he?
Look.
Like, he's too expensive for me, but I love watching him in the game against Andorra. He was just spraying them balls around. And I think because, no offence to Andorra, but because they're dreadful, you could just really see like what he was thinking all the time. You could just focus on Foden and you could kind of see the gaps, but he sees the gaps quicker and plays the ball even faster than you think. And
he is 9.6. He is 9.6.
So that's what I mean.
Yeah,
so
he cocked up
expensive.
13 points in that Liverpool game. You know, goal, man of the match, shots, starting 11.
In a really tight, dangerous game, innit, for him as
Yeah.
well. But
So he is expensive, but you know, what mind, you know, Kevin De Bruyne is 11.5. You know, at the minute I would have Foden above De Bruyne.
my one to watch, Natalie, is, seeing as we're on the Liverpool vibe, is a Liverpool player. Mine is Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Oh, okay.
And I've gone different, you know, because it would have been Salah, but I think choosing Salah as your one to watch is a bit of a cop-out, excuse the pun. I just think it actually absolutely is. Trent Alexander-Arnold, he's returning now. He was forced to miss the Porto game, and I think he missed the City game, didn't he?
Is he going to be back, though? That's the question. I'm putting him back in if he is.
So he has got a little exclamation mark, but it does say he's supposed to be back this weekend, and I think he will. I've read up on him this week, and it's positive news coming out of Anfield that he will. And the fact that Liverpool have Watford coming up, which has made me think that there's a bit of a mismatch there. I think that's the early kickoff on Saturday. I just think that Liverpool are really going to go for it. There's going to be so many goals in that game. And I think Trent Alexander-Arnold's going to come back with a bang. He's rested. He's not been away for that international break like a few other players have. So yeah, Trent Alexander-Arnold is my one to watch for this week.
If he's fit, I'm putting him back in my team. I think for me, Trent is one of those players that if he's fit, you just have to have him in your team. Him and Salah are my two absolute must-haves in my team. I'm just wondering. I was just trying to get my phone out there. It's just loading. What's the deadline for this week? When will we know? You know, because I feel like with Trent, we're going to be taking it down to the absolute last minute of the game to decide whether we're going to put him in.
It's going to be a very similar situation to what I had with Ronaldo and Lukaku. Because it's the early kickoff, you'll be able to see if Trent Alexander-Arnold is in, and you'll be able to fudge it a little bit and either put him in or pull him out regarding...
So the deadline's something like 11 o'clock on Saturday morning?
Yeah, and you can get team news just a bit before. You kind of get leaks, don't you? It's not solid team news, but you get rumours. People who are at the game saying, oh, no, he's not here, he's not warmed up, this and that. So, yeah.
This is Carl's tip. Keep your eye on social media first thing Saturday morning. Look out for things. If he's playing, we're in agreement that you get him in.
Yeah, 100%. Do it.
Yes. Same. Okay, I like that for sure. Lovely. Well, thank you. Lovely to see your face again. Remember, everybody, you can join our league. You'll probably immediately go in higher than both of us if you're half decent. 997-6717. And best of luck with the weekend. Keep an eye on those press conferences on Friday, and remember that you've got that deadline on Saturday morning to make those changes, so keep a real eye out for those ones. But Ace, mate, I'm expecting, so we're about 100 apart. I'm expecting to be maybe 50 apart next week.
Next week. All right, I'll hold you to that. We'll see.